All right, I think we've had enough talking. Now it's time to pick up your guitar. So make sure it's in tune first, and then let's start to play. So the very first chord that we're going to learn is probably one of the foundational chords, and I picked this one because of the other chords that go along with it. It's a very easy one once you learn it to change to the other chords. The first chord that we're going to learn is the G chord. So a G chord is going to start off when you're looking at the fingerboard. Your sixth string, your lowest string, you're going to put your second finger, your fingers are numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4. So your second finger is going to go on the 3rd fret of the 6th string. Now, the next string, you're going to put your first finger on the 2nd fret. Remember when we said on the fret, we're not talking about on that second bar, it's right behind it. So, 6th string, 2nd finger at the 3rd fret. 5th string, we're going to do your first finger on the 2nd fret. The 4th string and the 3rd string, we're going to leave open. So we're not going to put any fingers on those. Now, the 2nd string, we're going to put our ring finger, our 3rd finger, on the 3rd fret. And then on the 1st string, we're going to put our pinky, our 4th finger, on the 3rd fret. So, going through note by note, it should be from the 6th string, 2nd finger, 3rd fret, on the 5th string, 1st finger, 2nd fret, open, open, then 3rd finger on the 3rd fret, and then 4th finger on the 3rd fret. When you play that all together, strumming all 6 strings, it should sound like. Now, if this is your first time playing a chord, you might be frustrated right now. It doesn't sound like that. Well, there's a couple things to check on, okay? First off, check your finger. When you're playing, you want to be playing with close to the tip of your finger right here. You don't want to be playing close to the nail, but you don't want to be playing a flat finger either. So, sometimes that means your posture is wrong. Make sure the guitar is angled up, and that's going to help you get your arm underneath and reach around to get your fingers curved the way that they need to be, okay? If you're playing with a flat hand like this, or you're trying to baseball grip it, you're not going to be able to get a clean note between all of those, okay? So make sure your thumb kind of gets behind and you rotate your hand around to get the pad of your finger, the tip of your finger, pressing those notes. And go each string at a time. Make sure it rings clearly. All right, so once you've got that down, here's what you need to practice. All I want you to do is practice taking your hand off the guitar and then putting it back on and playing it nice and clean. Once you got it, take it off again and then put it back on and play it nice and clean. And what we're doing is we're trying to build that muscle memory for that chord. We want you to be able to not even look at the guitar and be able to go and know exactly where a G chord is, okay? So taking it off, putting it back on is going to make you realign all your fingers again to get used to where those muscles need to be. So, practicing the G. And again, your goal is just to make it crisp and clear. Now, once you've got that, there's another chord we're going to learn, okay? It's companion chord. If G is the main chord that we have, the next chord that we have in our list is the C chord. C is done exactly like G, except the first finger and the second finger are going to scoot a set of strings down. So, the sixth string, we're not going to play at all. The fifth string, we want our second finger on the third. The fourth string, we want our first finger on the second. So again, here's my G. I'm just going to take these fingers and move them that way, one string each. 1, 2. And there's my C chord. Now, here's what I'm going to break. That is not a real C. A real C is done like this. Okay? But it's an easier way to do some of those color chords. Remember the numbers that are on the end of the chords? So this is actually a C9. But by leaving the ring finger and the pinky exactly where it is, it makes it quick and easy to go from G to a C. All right, so first step, master the G chord. Bring your hand up, play a clean G, be able to take it down, and bring it back up and play it again. Step 2, you're going to do the same thing with this new C chord. Bring it up. Now, remember I said we're not going to play that sixth string. There's two ways to do that. One is I can take the pick and I can just start in between there. The other way, if I'm strumming, is I actually want to use my middle finger here to mute that bottom string. So what's happening is my middle finger, instead of being completely clean, not touching anything else, I'm just using it and barely touching that low E string, that sixth string. But now, it's really not making a sound. And so when I strum, that C note is the first one that you hear, and that's important for that. So, G, put your hand down, try and do a C now. Then put your hand down, try and do a G again. Then, what you can practice doing is alternating between them. So, do 4 Gs, and then 4 Cs. 1, 2, 3, 4, switch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the important thing in this is to keep the tempo going. So start slow and then build up if you have to. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to G. 1, 2, 3, 4. And slowly but surely pick up your tempo to where you can do it faster. So there you go. You've got 2 major chords under your belt right now. The G chord and the C chord. That is half of the main 4 chords that you'll need to know to play almost any song that's out there. So in our next lesson, we're going to focus on strumming patterns. So now we can start to colorize those 2 chords that we have. As you practice the strumming, use those 2 chords and alternate between them. And keep on picking.